The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Glenn is under fire. No, he's not going to get fired. Let's stop with that. But how much pressure is on Aaron Glenn to get things straightened out with the Jets sitting at 0-2? We'll break that down with Robby, Sabo, and much more. Plus, for those of you going to Tampa, make sure you check out the beginning of the show, all the latest info on our Tampa Bay Asmaniac takeover. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
We have to look at that. Watch the tape. Apparently, I didn't have the guys ready to play. And it's not okay. You still have to fix those problems that you saw on tape.
The 2025 New York Jets season is officially here. Can Aaron Glenn lead the team back to the playoffs and finally deliver on the promise this roster has shown? Every step of the journey, the Jake Asman Show will have you covered, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go. Here on a Tuesday, we watched the Tampa Bay Bucks last night win in Houston, so they will be 2-0, and the Jets will be 0-2 when they play one another this Sunday. The Asmaniacs will be there, and so will our good friend, the co-founder of JetsXFactor.com and KnicksXFactor.com, the one, the only, Robby Sabo. Hello, Mr. Sabo. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, dude. How we feeling?
I think better than you. I saw that little scramble off camera trying to find your headsets and do whatever you were doing.
I'm a zombie, bro. Listen, it's I caught Beningo yesterday. I missed the Parkinson show. So tried to stay glued into the Asman universe. And for me, this is the most emotional in terms of a reaction to a game in a long time. And the reason is the disheartenment in terms of the lack of game planning strategy. There was nothing, and it still boggles my mind. And we'll break it down for sure.
You went through it, so I certainly want to get your thoughts on that. Before we do that, though, let's say hello to someone that behind the scenes has been making this upcoming weekend for the Asmaniacs as smooth and as epic as possible. We say hello right now to the Tampa Bay Jets fan club founder, president, Festa. Joins the show. It's our guy, Steve Scott. Festa, introduce yourself to the audience. You're a guy that has been helping me out behind the scenes. I reached out to you trying to connect when the schedule came out, knowing that we were going to do the Asmaniac road trip game down in Tampa. Give us a little backstory on the Tampa Bay Jet fan club, because it's pretty epic what you have built and how long you've been doing it.
Yeah, man. Great to be here. I've been a big fan of you. I was at the Vegas thing also which was really cool with my son. But yeah, I moved down from New York. I was about 11 minutes from the stadium when I moved down from the Paramus, New Jersey, area. And started a fan club on a whim after too many green martinis. And started jets-fan.com 21 years ago. Behind me, you can see this was I think last year's opening day. We regularly get 100 plus to come out to our bar. It's just Jets fans. Every TV's on the Jets game. This will be where we're hosting the happy hour on Saturday from 5 till whenever you want to leave. In Gaspar's Bourbon Room Bar. Awesome thing. We do $10. We have a Jets fuel drink. We've got domestic buckets going on. They're doing double pours for single pour prices. We love Gaspar's. They love us. It's going to be epic fun. We do our 50-50 raffle every game. We're there for every game. Monday night, London games. We've been there for every single game. We did Thanksgiving Thursday evening game with the Patriots years ago. This is our home away from home. What I love about it, it's a huge mixed diversity of people, but we all there because we all love our Jets. So it's been an amazing run. We've had Super Bowl champs in the room. I've had Marty Lyons in the room. We've had Coach Mike Westhoff in the room with us. And it's just an epic day every game, basically. Win or lose, we have fun.
I love it, because that's really what you have to do when you're a fan of the Jets these days. There's no doubt. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. I know there's going to be a raffle that we're going to be doing that night. I'm contributing a couple of the prizes, but you guys have copious amounts of cash we're going to be giving away, Festa. I mean, this is going to be an epic night for Jet fans.
Yeah, I mean, the opening day of this year, we gave away $450 to our winner. They went home with $450, and then we gave out about $250 worth of Jets merch. The last time Jets were in town, the winner on Saturday took home just about $500, and on Sunday took about $500 home. So there's a lot of money that, on the table. There's a lot of gifts as well. So if you don't win the money, there's a lot of prizes that we give away too. Everything from cornhole tables to backpacks, bags, even little things, keychains and little stuff like that. So there's always a bunch of stuff. People are more than willing to contribute. A lot of folks will come in with, they got something for the holidays they don't like, and they'll put on the table, or size shirt don't fit them anymore, or whatever, they'll put on the table. It's great, man. We love that the fans are a part of it. They contribute. And one of our folks always brings like a cake once a month to do like a birthday party for those people celebrating that month. So it's a big family atmosphere. We have folks that have been coming out 15 years. I mean, we've watched kids grow up. My kid grew up there. I mean, he was 2.5 when I got down. He was 23 now. And people are like, it's like, oh my God, they watched him grow up. So it's been amazing.
Love that. So tell us about the tailgate Sunday. Of course, I'm going to be there. Tickets are still available. Now, it is cheaper for those of you who are going to buy in advance because it's going to cost more day of. But Festa, a.k.a. Steve Scott, can break that down for you.
Yeah, definitely get your tickets now. Again, the folks that are running this do an awesome job. We've had 2 big ones in the past. We should have about 300 plus coming out for just us. It's not going to be, it's not in a parking lot. It's kind of in the corner. I actually have if you go to directions.jets-fan.com, I give the exact location where we're going to be, directions.jets-fan.com. But tailgate's actually starting at 9 a.m., not 10 a.m. That's a misprint. It's 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's $65. It's like 68 with like tax and fees and everything. So it goes to like tick pick, I think. All the food and non-alcoholic drinks you want. You get 3 free alcoholic drinks as well. There'll be a cash bar as well afterwards. So if you use up your 3 drinks, you can still buy cash. There'll also be like a little entryway in the front where if someone's sort of walking by, they don't want to come in and do the whole thing, but they want to say hi to you. They're on their way to their seats. You can say a quick hello before they go out, kind of sitting in the front, grab a beer and hang out. So that's going to be really fun. And again, DJ, we should have some guests there as well. Going to do our raffle. We were talking about doing a silent auction too, and working with somebody to try to bring in some silent auction items. And again, try to have some games, cornhole, giant, Connect 4, that kind of thing. It's going to be a blast. Just Jets fans. They did one for the Metallica show down here in Tampa a couple months back that I was gifted a couple of, and it was amazing. So it's going to be an amazing day. It's right on the corner of the stadium. Super easy to get in. Parking all around. So it's going to be great. I can't wait. I'm psyched.
It's going to be an epic time. I'm looking forward to it. Are the Jets going to win Sunday, though, Festa? Are we finally going to get a win, or is like many of these road trips, unfortunately, I've done the last few years with my listeners, is the best part of the weekend going to be everything before the game actually starts Sunday at 1?
Outside of the last time they were in town, right, the Jets have pretty much had the Bucs number for the last bunch of years, right? Bunch of years. Granted, they only play once every 4 years, right? Once every 8 here in Tampa. So I've been fortunate enough to see a win. I saw a loss last time. I'm going for a win this time. I think we come out of the gate a bit more on fire. I'm ever optimistic. Always have to be as a Jets fan, right? It's something we can do. But either way, like I said, the one thing that we love about the group is that, our motto is if you're a Jets fan, your family. And that's really how it feels. We have 3 generations sometimes hanging out at the Jets games. We're going to have a ton of our personnel there as well, helping out, doing stuff. So it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. It's not like sitting in a parking lot and tailgating. You are with a bunch of other folks in someone else's hometown. And we're doing, and in fact, where we're sitting, that whole area, 100, 200, 300 is going to just be green. So I'm excited to, just get in there, be loud, be proud. It should be super exciting.
Looking forward to meeting you in person, Festa. Again, thank you for all your help behind the scenes, making this weekend so much fun for all my listeners making the trip and everyone who already lives down in Tampa anyway, because as I told you off air, Florida is my 3rd most viewed state behind New York, number 1, Jersey 2, Florida right there 3. So a lot of New Yorkers down there anyway, and it's going to be an epic time.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see you guys, meet you in person too. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you for a little bit. It's going to be a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Festa checking in there, the president, the founder of the Tampa Bay Jets fan club. For anyone who wants more info, in particular on my Discord, which you gain access to when you become a Patreon member, you can see we have an entire tab created for this meetup. if you go to game meetups, once you get access to the Discord, all the info that you just heard Festa talk about, it's there, including the link that he referenced for the directions on where specifically the Sunday tailgate is located. So go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show, support the show, gain access to the Discord in the process, and we will be using that Discord religiously throughout the weekend to stay in touch with all the listeners who are making the trip down to Tampa, including Mr. Sabo. So, Robby, are there any reasons for some optimism following an absolute debacle of a game Sunday against Buffalo?
There's in terms of individual coaching, hiding with the O-line, man coverage, one-on-one, I'm still optimistic in that area, but it's the game planning and the strategy. I'm watching a play right now that's the Kincaid 18-yarder right to the right flat. And it was a 3rd and 9. And it was one of the very rare third and passing downs where they didn't go man coverage. It looks like they went 3 here, cover 3, if I'm not mistaken. No, it might have been quarters. But regardless, wide open in the flat. I don't listen, terrible coverage, but beforehand, pre-snap, Buffalo had Josh Allen put the running back in motion, put the receiver in motion, just moved him inside, push it out. Notice Buffalo at the line. They run just little motion, so Allen has a good idea of what the coverage is, and the Jets don't do a good enough job in disguising it and hiding it. The quarterback knows exactly what is coming, and if it's cover, most of the time it was cover one man or cover one man press. It was so easy to find out when it wasn't on the rare occasion, like in this example. So individual coaching, I think, is still there. I'm not worried about the offense or Engstrand or Hayden, but listen, when you run the ball on first down and linebackers are in the backfield at the time of the handoff, something's wrong. When DBs are making tackles for losses all game, how many did they have? 3 or 4 or 5? Something's wrong. That means the coaching staff is taking the other coaching staff to the woodshed and just spanking them. And we talked about it. That's what is going to come down to Glenn's career here, the week-to-week strategy end of it. And he has to have that wherewithal. And in terms of that perspective, it couldn't be worse based on this game.
So is that on Glenn? Is that a Engstrand? Is that a Wilkes thing? Okay, so you're putting it on Glenn. What's the level of concern about Aaron Glenn?
In terms of game planning specifics?
Everything. You're being the head coach.
Game planning specifics, 100%, 10 out of 10. In terms of where they are in the process with the personnel, I'll go 5 out of 10. You got to give it more time. You can't go too crazy. But in terms of specific game planning, when you're coming out and you're playing Buffalo, like they have a generic quarterback, that 40-yard scamper by Josh Allen on the first 3rd down, no secret. Cover 1, press, single high. So you're running man, so you have your back to the quarterback. That's 1. Okay, you could do it. But you better have a spy. Did they have a spy? No. Sherwood had the running back, so he was a hybrid type spy. Okay, you could do it. Better have responsible pass rushing lanes. Did they do that? No. It was a game. They stunted. Clemens gets knocked to the ground. Allen picks a lane. Sherwood, for some God unknown reason, guesses to the right instead of just waiting and catching him. Josh Allen, who scampers up the hole. Every 4 out of 4 mistakes, it just kept on compiling, and they treated Josh Allen as if he was a generic quarterback, and you can't do that. There has to be game plan specific mental notes in your head on every play.
So with that said, you're saying it's on Glenn, but it's Wilkes' defense. So, and he's calling the defense. So what do you make of like the level of blame for the coordinators versus the head coach?
I mean, listen, Wilkes has been terrible, awful. It is beyond predictable. We talked about it last week with Rodgers. Rodgers saw the coverage. He put it where he wanted to put it. Wilkes absolutely takes a hit, but you know what? Glenn is the boss. He hired Wilkes, and he's got to get it going. He's got to figure this out. So,
are they running Wilkes' defense or Glenn's defense based on what we know?
Based on what we know, I think it's a combination of both. But here's it's so predictable, and we actually touched on this too when watching Detroit's defensive unit last year. There was a lot of man coverage. They blitzed a lot, and there was a lot of man coverage, and it hasn't changed. It's what we've seen so far this year.
I mean, it's just we're 2 games in.
So disheartening.
The defense being this bad, I understand it's a new system. It will take time, but I mean, what you're saying is very damning for.
Look, man, when
the coaching
Trubisky,
staff.
when a backup quarterback like Trubisky comes in and feels that confident that he knows what the coverage is and delivers a strike against Sauce Gardner, something's wrong. When DBs are making tackles for losses in the backfield and your O-line, who, by the way, I can't even grade the O-line from this game. That's how bad it was. Buffalo continued to guess correctly defensively on nearly every play. It was insane. Watch the stills in the film for the first 2 plays.
So is
They
that on
ran
Fields
blitz.
to check out of it then, or Engstrand to tell him, hey, we
You
can't
love it.
call this year?
You'd love that. I mean, finally, then when they get something going, here's a great example. 3rd drive, okay, after the Fields fumble. I'm thinking to myself, all right, what do? I would open it up, put Brees outside or put the tight end outside, get wider splits so you have more room to operate in terms of the zone read and read option, or even design QB rushes so you could take away the lack of a quarterback not blocking. He packs it in. He goes 6 linemen, and kudos to him. It worked. He brought Max Mitchell in, fullback, 22 personnel, 1 receiver. Buffalo on that play, if you look at it, they weren't active pre-snap. They weren't pointing. They were like, oh man, it was as if they didn't have a plan for it because the Jets haven't showed that this year, that personnel grouping yet. Brees rips off a 12-yard run. Fields hits Garrett for 18 yards down the middle of the field. First down. They call the Arian Smith end around. Okay. It gets dumped by the cornerback. The call is fine. But when you get up to the line, there's too deep, and that's good. That's a good thing for that run. But if it's too deep, the 2 outside corners are going to be pressed on top of the line of scrimmage. And if the receivers are tight split, which they were, if one of those corners blitzes, it could ruin the whole play. So they guessed 100% correctly. They blitzed that corner where Arian Smith was going. To your point, should they check out of it? Probably. Like, can you give Fields the power to check out of it? Can Garrett Wilson also make Garrett Wilson was right in front of that blitzing corner, and he didn't even, it's a tough block, but he didn't even consider the possibility that the corner would block. So there's blame to go around everywhere. But I think the moral of the story for the Jets offense, you can't run anything if the defense keeps guessing correctly. And McDermott and that staff understand this league. Here's the thing, Jake, when you take physicality away from football, the randomness decreases. You could have all these plans and the chess pieces, and this is going to happen and this is going to happen. But when physicality decreases, the randomness decreases. Speed is more predictable. So you could plan it and plot it. You could move your pawns. Buffalo is so good at that. And they just, they dog walk the Jets coaching staff.
It's unbelievable. I hear this and I'm thinking to myself, so how is it going to get any better? You know, like my big fear going into the game on Sunday, Robbie, was everything the Jets did offensively last week was a bit of an outlier because there was no film on what an Engstrand Fields offense specifically looks like. Now there is. Let's see if Tanner can now adjust to that. And it's probably not even going to be the same type of offense anyway, because they're going to run a completely different style of offense if it's going to be Tyrod, not Fields, who's concussed for this game Sunday.
Do we have any other news? I know today's an off day. I wasn't there yesterday.
He's just still in the protocol. But Glenn did say if he doesn't practice, he's not going to play. If he's not going to practice by Thursday, I doubt we see him.
If it is Tyrod, and I mean, listen, he's a better passer than Fields. We know this. We said it in August, but the ceiling for the offense potentially isn't as high, not nearly as high. Completely different offense, you're right. And they're going to flip on a dime. But having said that, you didn't see much of an attempt against Buffalo with Fields anyway. And they just got blitzed theoretically in terms of, symbolically, the word blitzed. They just got smacked in the face in terms of being outguessed at the line of scrimmage in terms of play calling. You have to have the wherewithal at the line of scrimmage to not put yourself in the worst positions. If it is Tyrod, it's going to be completely different. The positives, nothing's on tape. The negatives, it severely handicaps some of the things you could do. There's going to be far less room in the interior because the guys don't have to respect the legs on the outside. There's going to be more guys in coverage because spies won't be needed nearly as much. So you'll be handicapped. If you go with Tyrod, the entire point of the Fields offense evaporates. That doesn't mean they can't win, but you really have to test your game planning mettle in that case. And listen, Bowles, we know who Todd Bowles is. He blitzes. He stops the run at every turn. He will stop the run, and actually to the detriment of his passing defense. So how are you going to handle that? How are you going to handle that, Glenn and Engstrand? Having said that, I still have faith in Engstrand. The defensive side is where I'm really, 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 really worried.
Well, you could live with a bad game from a young coordinator against the Buffalo Bills, who are legitimately one of the 3 best teams in the league, right? I understand there's going to be growing pains, and I thought the first game was very impressive. The Wilkes thing doesn't make much sense to me because he's been an experienced DC. The head coach is a defensive coach, and 8 of the Jets' 11 starters are back. Plus, they chose to invest in Brandon Stevens. That you can't blame Joe Douglas for that contract. That was their move, and he's been horrendous through the first 2 games. So the defense, to me, that is more concerning than the offense. I didn't expect Fields to be Zach Wilson level bad, but he kind of is what he is in his career. There's some good, there's some bad. That's why he's on his 3rd team in 3 years. The defense allowing 30-plus points in the first 2 games, and let's be real, they could have easily allowed way more than 30 if that game mattered for Buffalo, if it was closer and they needed Josh Allen to play in the 4th quarter. That, to me, is a major concern when you're taking on a Bucs team this Sunday that has an elite offense, a really good quarterback. We saw what Baker did last night. The guy's the ultimate gamer.
Unbelievable.
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks just to watch. It's going to be tough. I mean, the Jets are a 7-point underdog for a reason on Sunday.
Baker shut me the hell up. I was not a fan of Baker coming out in the draft. Not a fan. And he has proved me 100% wrong. Unbelievable what he's done in his career. It's with Wilkes' history. He's had good years. He's had bad years. The ebbs and flows might be talent related. I don't know. But it's just, again, you got to put your guys in a position to have an advantage. And I can't get over the fact Sherwood too. Sherwood has been just absolutely brutal.
I hope he's not a product of the scheme for the previous regime being the reason why he is what he is. Same with Michael Carter. I mean, like that.
There's some bad
concern,
tendencies.
Right? Yeah,
there's some bad tendencies there where, and I'm watching the James Cook rush for 40 yards. Defensively, they're not slanting. They're just trying to feel the offensive flow. So it goes to the right, defensive right, offensive left, and Briggs, for some reason, is hard slanting left, which created the hole for Cook. So I don't know. Maybe they weren't on the same page in that regard, but Sherwood, the line of demarcation, and I was never a huge Mosley fan, but the line of demarcation was when Mosley left the lineup. They haven't had that same captaincy in terms of checks on defense and putting guys in the right position.
Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. For those of you who are tuned in for the Asmaniac raffle this morning, we will be giving away a Justin Fields signed jersey, a Jermaine Johnson signed jersey, a Sauce Gardner signed jersey. And I'll tell you what, I've never done this, but I want to do something nice for the community. I will allow anyone who gifts during this show still to qualify for this raffle coming up at the end. So I got 3 prizes, and we've never done this. This is the 40th raffle I've done since December 1st. In show, you can enter. So this is truly your last chance to win any of the signed Jets jerseys. We'll raffle away coming up in just a little while. So it's been a tough 2 weeks for the Jets. Let's try and give people a chance watching live, still supporting the channel, another opportunity to win one of these signed Jets jerseys. That's coming up at the end of the stream. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Robby, I mentioned the line. Jets, 6.5-point underdogs on Sunday. No one's going to pick them. If they are going to win Sunday, what are the biggest things after watching the Bills tape that they have to clean up right away before we even talk about what Tampa presents from a game plan standpoint?
Communication on defense, having your leaders be leaders. That's the first thing on defense. If we're not talking about game planning, so forget Wilkes, but that's the big thing. Communication. The penalties, obviously, that's goes without saying with Clemens and what have you, but communication, being on the same page, all that good stuff in coverage. Offensively, I don't know, to be honest. It's one of those things where it could be completely different with Tyrod as opposed to Fields. So I think offensively, it's mostly about game planning and strategy because I have 100% faith this offensive line is it's legit. It's the real deal and could run the ball. The only time you can't is if DBs and linebackers are through the hole at the time of the handoff. And if that's happening, you can't put it on the offensive line. So
I think Tyrod could beat them, though, if they try that with him.
yes,
He's a good enough quarterback that he could identify that, get the ball out quick, hit Garrett on a slant, get it out to Brees. There's ways to get around that if your quarterback doesn't stink like Fields did Sunday.
100%. And having said that, listen, I got to be fair. Despite Buffalo guessing right on those first two plays, and by the way, when I say guessing right, there's guessing right and putting your guys in a better position defensively against the run. And there's guessing right to an extreme degree that is just should never happen. And that's what we saw against Buffalo. It was beyond anything anyone could ever think of. But beyond that, Fields, if he just makes the throw and hits Wilson, they're off and rolling. And maybe Buffalo has to adjust there. But they dared him to throw the ball and he didn't get it done. So offensively, other than game planning, just having a quarterback complete passes.
Comments, questions, super chats. Let's shout out John, who gifted a membership. Let's shout out the Lutman, who gifted a membership. They're entered to win the following 3 prizes coming up at the end of the show. Field signed jersey, Jermaine Johnson signed jersey, and a Sauce Gardner signed jersey. Doug, the developer, says, which quarterback do you like in this upcoming draft? Sigh.
I'm not even there. I can't even go there yet, man, to be honest. But
as bad as it's been, I'm not talking about drafting a quarterback on September 16th. I can't do it.
Yeah. I see. More important than that to me is the coaching staff. Are they the real deal? That's what I have to find out. But I can't blame anyone for having thoughts go to that area right now. No question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Van checking in. He'll be down in Tampa with us. That shirt Jake has on is pretty Florida. Maybe I'll wear it down in Tampa. Lee, good call. Let's see. John says Jake is completely off his rocker. It is his second game of Glenn's head coaching career against a Super Bowl contending team. Why don't we just support our guys? I don't think I'm off my rocker at all, John. I think I've been very fair. I've been extremely critical of Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff, and Robbie's comments there just echo everything that I've been saying for 2 days since this game ended. But I'm also saying time and time again that it's way too early to cast aspersions that he's a bad coach, or someone today told me that he's solid 2.0. Like, I'm as frustrated as anyone. But I'm not going to sit here and say fire the guy or he stinks. He's got to be better, though. Like, to me, if they played a competitive game and lost, we would live with it. We'd be upset they lost. I know I would, but I didn't pick them to win. So it'd be unfair for me to scream and yell if they lost a close one. What I didn't want to see and what I thought we were past were Salah, Gase, Bowles, Ulbrich-esque division matchups where you get your doors blown off and everything that has plagued this team for 15 years rears its ugly head. That can happen. So no one's chasing Aaron Glenn out of town, John, as you're accusing me of doing. And don't give me he wanted to be here. We'll never find anyone else who wants to turn this organization around. Nonsense. They interviewed how many people that wanted this job? So it's still one of 32. Glenn wanted this job. We love him for that. Now he's got to win because that's the only thing that ultimately matters, winning football games. So there's my Glenn rant saying that, like, it's okay to be critical and still acknowledge it's early. He's a rookie coach, and we hope he's smart enough to turn it around.
Yeah, no, you're not off your rocker at all. There's a very big difference between losing and the idea of not having an idea. And they had no idea on Sunday. And it's very clear when you watch the tape. They had no freaking idea how to play the modern rules of the NFL. And that was my greatest fear. Now, I'm not saying it's going to hold forever. There could be a thought process in terms of Glenn right now where he's going through a certain stage where he's challenging guys. Yes, when you play cover one, man press on every high leverage third down, not every, but you know what I mean? It was insane. And I heard people, I was at the stadium, so I didn't hear the broadcast. I didn't even watch the broadcast back. I heard people saying Romo was even saying it on the broadcast. Maybe he's challenging guys to show their mettle and show their worth. I don't know. It's not like he's doing it to try to sacrifice wins, but maybe he believes this is the right way to go for now. I don't know. I'm just saying those are the thoughts you have to have so you don't give up on the guy immediately. That's not fair to give up on him through 2 games. But what we saw on Sunday, the real issue is if Glenn hears us talking and disagrees with us, because that would be the real issue. I guarantee you he agrees with our criticism.
Another bad Jet defensive game, and I'm banging the table. Bring back Rex as our defensive coordinator, Robbie Sabo. Sexy Rexy.
I can't do the Rex thing, man. I
DC,
I saw a clip.
He's better than Wilkes.
I saw a clip. He laughed at Orlovsky for saying Mac Jones wouldn't be as good as Purdy if he was under Shanahan. And poof, here we go. Mac Jones is it's just one game, but it's such a different game where it's the randomness and the physicality is gone. And you're a chess master. That's how it works. It's crazy.
Lane Train in the house. The Jets have to do better on Sunday. Robbie, of all the points you, myself, anyone that calls in today makes, I doubt it will be as poignant and impactful as Lane's assessment that the New York Jets have to be better on Sunday.
Yeah, damn right, Lane. They got to be better. They got to play better.
Hard to be worse, to be fair.
You know, I think that question's been asked a few times throughout the years. Could it get any worse? And it can. It's shocking.
Andrew C. wants to know, where was the cheat code, Robbie?
Still there. That makes it 100 times worse. It's still there. I mean, I don't know what you guys want from me. Last week I said Fields gets an A- grade for what they asked him to do, but he gets a D grade for his pocket pure passing, and you guys almost hanged me. What do you want? I'm telling you it's a cheat code offense because it's a cheat code offense. There are built-in advantages. Doesn't mean they're dominant. There are built-in advantages with the legs. Cheaters don't always win. Cheaters aren't always dominating, but, you know, still there. It is absolutely still there, and still they got smacked across the ass.
Ladies and gentlemen, this comment here is from Chris, who says, why did Woody hire a first-time head coach again? That is never addressed. They hired Aaron Glenn because they thought he was the best of the coaches they interviewed. They wanted Vrabel. Vrabel said no. We went to New England. After that, Glenn was their number one. I mean, I work with Mike Tannenbaum on Sundays. I'll leave it at that. They wanted Aaron Glenn. He was their guy.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things is, hey, hire a great offensive staff. I still feel confident in that. I love what Hyden's done. I love what Engstrand's done. Not jumping off that train. Defensively with Wilkes, it's a major question, and the strategy end on that part. So we'll see.
Bo C in the house. I can't imagine Fields having more than a 2-play audible. Do you think that's true? And if so, isn't that a limiting factor for an explosive offense?
Of course, it's a limiting factor, but I mean, let's not lose our minds completely. The Garrett Wilson touchdown in week 1, he audibled at the line. He checked at the line. He saw the coverage. He knew it was cover one man off coverage, called Yankee, and it worked perfectly. So I don't know where it happens. He's not going to be at the line of scrimmage maestro like Josh Allen or Burrow or Aaron Rodgers, but he does have that power. I just think they got caught up in trying to establish who they are a bit too much in this game instead of trying to outmaneuver the opponent.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Asmaniac raffle for a signed Sauce Gardner jersey today, signed Jermaine Johnson jersey today, and a signed Justin Fields jersey today. Coming up in just a bit, let's get to some of your outstanding Gusbuster Umbrella hotline calls. And Prestige Shogun will start us off today. What's up, Prestige?
Jake, Robbie, I mean, a tough weekend, to say the least. I came on here last week, and I said, if we lost to the Bills, I'd come on here and eat my bowl of crow, and that's exactly what I'm here to do.
I was confident, too. Dude, I said the same thing. I was confident.
I wasn't. Now, where did Prestige Shogun go?
Did he disappear?
They got blacked out. They got blacked out for a second. Okay, so like I was saying,
we still can't see you, Prestige. Where are you?
Really?
Yeah, turn your camera on.
Mr. Worldwide. Let's go.
Hey, public PSA to everyone who calls into this wonderful program. If you do it from the phone, please put your phone on Do Not Disturb. So when someone calls you or texts you or whatever notification you get that pops up, it doesn't do this.
That's weird.
Prestige? We hear you. I'm used to just hearing people as a radio guy. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, it's weird. My camera's showing up on my phone, but it's weird. But I'll just say it. I was pretty hyper and I was excited last week for this game. I was excited how we played, and I want to get it. I don't want it to get it twisted with anybody. I'm not this like super fan who's going to be happy nonstop and just everything is sunshine and rainbows. I'm not a guy that's coming on here to be kissing babies and celebrating moral victories. I'm here to keep it real. And we got our asses kicked on Sunday. So I'm going to just say that. And I don't feel confident about playing Tampa Bay on the road. They're going to be wearing those nice ass uniforms from the past. So
they are. They're wearing the creamsicles.
The white versions, actually. They had the orange ones, and now it's the white ones that they're finally bringing back. I'm worried how we're going to play in the secondary. Emeka Buka, Mike Evans, just an entire offense that's just built to completely destroy this Jets defense. And it's a big problem because I don't feel confident. Now, I'm not saying I don't like Tyrod Taylor. He's a good backup. But without Justin Fields, I don't really envision a scenario where the Jets actually win. Now, I'll root for a win. I'm gonna say that, but I don't think we're going to win, and I don't think you guys are predicting a Jet win either. Well,
no,
like we're not. So, if we don't beat Tampa Bay, which I don't want to say the season would be over, but more than likely the Jets aren't going to get above 500 on the season if they start 0-3, which they very well likely will. Beating Miami on the road is something that I think is. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get killed for this in the comments or whatever. I have no respect for this Miami Dolphins team. And whether we're good or bad this year, anything less than a win is unacceptable. I think Mike McDaniel will be out the door soon. And if the Aaron Glenn wants to really establish a toughness like in his culture, then you got to start by beating the cultures that have none. And that's beating the Miami Dolphins. The past is like, I don't like how we kind of talk about how the Aaron Glenn is one of the reasons why the Jets haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. And what I mean by that is like Jets fans, it's always the groggy ones that are angry and upset about everything that are like, I've seen this movie before. Golly gee Wilkers, Aaron Glenn is Robert Saleh 2.0. And I say that because Aaron Glenn and Jake, all of your criticisms on Aaron Glenn are 100% accurate. They are warranted. And anybody who disagrees with you, they're wrong. I mean, you have a right to criticize Aaron Glenn. And especially when you criticize Michael Clemens, word for word, Michael Clemens being on this team is a disgrace. I took those words from you and used them myself on the radio just a day or so ago. So I credit you to that because it's perfectly said. We need to hold people accountable. And Aaron Glenn, if he wants to establish that accountability in his culture, he's got to do that more. Now, I'm going to say this. If we live in the past, we're going to die in the present. So I want Jets fans, don't call for Aaron Glenn's job just yet. We're going to give him time. It's going to need time. And in due time, I think Aaron Glenn is going to change the culture, which I sound like a broken record by saying culture. But I think around midseason, second half of the season is where you'll start to see what this Jets team could really look like in a year or two from now. So I've yapped for a little bit. I'm running a little late to class. I'll hop off there. Thanks for having me on. I'm sorry that my camera blacked out for whatever reason. So
stay
care,
golden,
guys.
Pony Boy. All right. I hope he's right.
Hey, listen, dude, what Glenn did this summer and the accountability aspect and all that stuff, it doesn't mean that gets all washed away based on the strategy part of it and based on this stinker. That was good stuff. And it was very encouraging, and it still is very encouraging. But you can't be an idiot. You got to be objective. You got to call out bits and pieces and compartmentalize. So good point on that part, and we'll see what comes from it.
Bang Mateo says, where's the talk of our O-line being top 10? The O-line has not been a problem.
Dude, watch the tape. The O-line was not the issue.
Yeah, Bang Mateo loves to bring up the O-line after they got killed when the O-line had nothing to do with it. And then completely neglects the fact that the Jets graded out as having the best offensive line in the NFL in week 1. So shut up, Bang. All right. As bad as the Jets are, you suck more. Kevin Hayes with a super chat. If the Dolphins fire McDaniel, would you bring him in as the OC? I mean, not in season. We'll see what happens with Engstrand, but I doubt that would happen.
Yeah. McDaniel's an interesting one. I'm just not locked into Miami enough to know what went wrong with his scheme and all that good stuff. I'm sure injuries at quarterback didn't help. but it's one of those things. Maybe it's the running game. Maybe the NFL has just swung a little bit more towards the running game, and he didn't keep up with the Joneses. I don't know.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Raffle coming up. You want to win a Fields jersey. You want to win a Jermaine jersey or a Sauce jersey, all signed by each player. You could still enter. We've never done it before where you can enter day of. And I'll tell you what, anyone who enters day of, we will also include you in the next Asmaniac weekly raffle. And I won't spoil all the prizes for you, Mr. Sabo, but this is the top prize. Signed football by
there's the island. There's
Darrell
the island.
Revis. So if you enter for the 3 signed jerseys during this show, we'll enter you in next week's raffle.
And
raffle
by the way, I know everyone's down on Sauce, the Trubisky completion. That was out of the slot. Could we please not have Sauce in the slot anymore? Travel boundary to boundary, fine. Don't put him in the slot. He is not made for the slot. And yes, he got beat there, but if you keep playing the same coverage, it's okay to play 2 deep safeties every now and then, Wilkes and Glenn. Please. On 3rd and 12 once against Buffalo, I saw them play single high safety. It's insane. Mix it up, please. Mix it up. It is impossible to ask these guys to cover man on man every play in every high leverage situation. It'll create passing yards and defensive penalties every time.
There's a super chat that just completely encapsulates how silly 6 rings is.
6 rings.
Mr. Tom Brady 12 writes in, New England won the Super Bowl in 2001, 0-2 and 1-3 start. Pre-dynasty.
You can kiss my big ass. Woo!
We do not care.
I never saw that one.
We do not care.
Yeah, and Brady's up to his old tricks again, doing the I'm seeing all these Spygate headlines. I admit I didn't stay up for the game last night all night, but Brady cannot avoid that cheating category headline, can he?
I mean, is that not ridiculous that he's in the coach's booth as
it's insane.
A broadcaster that gets access to all these teams' best players and coaches and production meetings and can ask a lot of questions?
It is insane. He's a charmer.
Huge conflict of interest. The fact that the NFL allows that, and then how brazen it is that he's just in plain sight of the cameras. At least hide it a little better. Put him in the back where he can't be seen.
Yeah, he's a charmer, and he engulfs himself into a situation where otherwise thought of shady by other people, and he has no problem doing it. He's amazing in terms of who he is as a personality. It really is amazing.
J-Boy enters our signed jersey raffle. He's playing to win 3 signed jerseys this morning.
Hello? You play to win the game.
The following 5 people are now channel members, and a big thank you to J-Boy for being the first Asmaniac to gift a 5 spot on the program. If you hear your name called, thank J-Boy, Turd Ferguson, the Gabagool, Mikey Man, Aaron Cito, the Ghost 22, all receiving a channel membership there from J-Boy. Some more super chats coming through the pipeline here. This one is from Jersey Joe, who says, offense gave me Jets versus Jags 2022 vibes. Oof, I was at that infamous game. If they can't run it and are forced to pass, we're going to lose a lot of games. I like Fields, man. I want him to win. I think we all like Fields, the person. He's a high character guy. Teammates like him a lot. Works hard. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, he was outstanding week 1. He was horrific week 2. And that is very jet-like to have this guy who we know is kind of feast or famine. And that's been the biggest bugaboo with him. And literally his first 2 games with the Jets is the highs and then the lows. And they didn't even win the game where he was at his best, which still irks me to no end that they're not 1-1 right now. It'd be so much easier to flush Sunday's game as awful performance, flush it, learn from it. We all would have signed to be 1-1 going to Tampa and Florida back-to-back, and Tampa and Miami back-to-back, but I went 2 instead.
We know who he is. I've been saying it since they signed him. We know who he is, and it's not a mystery to the NFL. It sure as hell wasn't a mystery to Buffalo, and it was disrespectful how they played it, and they were on the money every freaking time. On the money, just perfect. Perfect strategy, perfect play calling, perfect game planning. Let's see. I mean, hey, Fields, everything is against you now. What are you going to do? You're going to come back and stand tall, or are you just going to disappear into the night? That's what That's what I would be preaching if I was Glenn right now to my quarterback.
There's a guy in the chat who is just ripping me with every comment here, so I'll respond to a few of them here.
I saw somebody said you're no mensch or a mensch. I may have misread.
Yeah, this guy Mark says we're going to evaluate players who should be on the team and those who we should get rid of. Evaluate the coach staff, how they adapt to adversity. Wow, Jake effing goes crazy week to week. No, Mark, I go crazy when there's things to be critical about that are fair. All right, did you see me go crazy on the offense last week? Did you see me go crazy on even Aaron Glenn last week? No, I went crazy on Glenn this week because the Michael Clemens thing is bullshit. Xavier Gipson being on the team, something I was vehemently against, like everyone else with a brain, cost them a game week 1. So no, Mark, I'm not going crazy for the sake of going crazy. I'm going crazy because I'm a Jet fan that has seen this team fail to win more than 7 mother effing games for a decade. They have not won a playoff game or been in the playoffs since 2010. So no, I'm not going crazy for the sake of going crazy. I'm going crazy when there's things to go crazy about that are fair criticisms. I also have said over and over again that Aaron Glenn is 2 games in and he deserves more time, and we can't blame him for the Jets playoff drought. I don't know how much more I could say that over and over again, but don't expect me just to sit here and act like it's all okay and we got to sit there and just take it because we were patient with Sawa. It failed. We were patient with Douglas. It failed. Enough. All right. All these other teams in the league can figure it out. Brian Dable, who's probably not a good coach, accidentally won 9 games and won a playoff game with Daniel Jones a few years ago. So, Mark, respectfully, you don't know what the F you're talking about, telling me that I'm crazy, that I'm part of the problem, asking for instant gratification when I'm not. I was asking for a competitive game and not being down 30-3 to a division opponent at home in week 2 when the team wasn't ready to play and they got outclassed. I don't think it's unfair to ask for a competitive game, Mark. So if you think I'm going crazy, you might need to find another show because guess what? We're not going to be, Jet fanboy radio around here where the Jets could do no wrong. They don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Win games. And I will be as positive as anyone. I've spent a fortune following this team, supporting this team. I'm going down to Tampa to watch this 0-2 juggernaut of a football team, according to you, Mark, play Tampa Bay. Like, just shut up, dude. It's enough. I'm so sick of people being like, whoa, how dare you be upset at Glenn? I'm upset at everyone. I want to win. They're 0-2. They got embarrassed on Sunday. If that didn't bother you, you're not a real Jets fan.
Well said. You listen, the two of us have molded our life around the Jets in terms of a career. Think about that. So, the only thing the Jets ask for in terms of organizationally, just be fair. Just be objective, be fair. Don't go over the top. And by no means have you even come close to crossing that line. Part of the problem would be, I argue, letting them slide on everything and pretending it's going to get better the next week. And if you do that, then more ridiculous decisions will be made. So, all right, we'll play your rules. They're great, and they're going to be great. I'm sure that'll work.
It's just like some of these people just, be paid. No one's saying fire Aaron Glenn, but if you're a Jet fan and you didn't feel something watching them get their asses killed, like it didn't remind you of how many games did we see with Salah and Obrick? How many games did we see that with Bowles? How many games did we obviously see that with Gase? The end of Rex. Like, we seen that exact game. And the one thing that every Glenn supporter was telling me was those games are done. We're not going to have the Arizona game from last year again. We're not going to have the repeat of 40-0 to the Bills at the end of last season. I thought those games were done. If the Jets played a competitive game, obviously I'd be disappointed they lost, but I wouldn't be going as crazy as I did. And then to listen to Aaron Glenn say, I'm not making excuses for Michael Clemens, and then proceed to make excuses for a guy who has no business being on this team after Xavier Gipson had no business being on the team, and it cost them a game, that stubbornness and that decision to keep him. No, I'm sorry. Aaron Glenn does not get just the blind faith. He's right no matter what, because we've given that to other guys, and they failed. Win football games. No one's saying he can't be a good coach. No one's saying that he's even the biggest reason why they're 0-2 right now. They played 2 really good teams. Certainly the Bills look like a Super Bowl contender. They are. Like, it's just, I'm sorry, man. It can't look as bad as it did last week in game 2. That to me is alarming. And if you're not alarmed as a Jet fan, doesn't mean it can't get better. But if you're not alarmed as a Jet fan, I don't know what to tell you.
Yes. The first game where there's tape on you and you come out that way in terms of just putting up a 0 in terms of game planning, 100%. There's no way around it.
Horrendous. It's just, God.
Yeah. And by the way, the fandom thing, it's not even that has me so angry and emotional. It's the coaching thing. Like, that is the coaching so damn important in this league. I can't even appropriately explain it. And that is the thing that's so disheartening when I see a football game and I see one team doing everything correctly and the other team not even participating. They just didn't lose. They didn't participate. That's a big difference. Understand that.
Brutal. Frank P, big time super chat here. This is for Beast. Get 6 rings the F out. All right. I'll tell you what needs to be done, folks. A bounty needs to be paid off. Ladies and gentlemen, we say farewell to 6 rings.
Now look what you've done, 6 rings. You fake patch fraud. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. Some time in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
See ya, 6 rings. And by the way, you are in the raffle coming up, Frank, for 10. With that, needed to be done, Mr. Sabo. A bounty was paid.
Yeah, 6 rings. I also saw his comments had been removed, which is unfortunate. That could have been used as a gospel of sorts.
24 hours in the hole, Robbie. You know the rules.
Yeah, I know the rules. 1 bite. I get it.
Couple membership shout-outs. How about our guy, Anthony Logerato, giving it the community a 10 spot of channel membership.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Anthony in our raffle for 10. Black Gypsy in for 1. Austrian Jet Fan in for 1. Lee Van also in for 1. And Green Gang 365, the pride of Baltimore, giving us 5 gifted memberships. Super chat from Johnny. How much of a leash do you think Glenn is giving Wilkes before he takes over defensive play calls? I guess the biggest question is how involved is Glenn in the defense now? And until I know that answer, it's tough to firmly grasp. But if I'm Aaron Glenn, I'm taking a hard look at my defense this week. And if I'm not that involved, I'm being way more involved this week.
My hunch is he's not that involved in terms of the down-to-down play calling. I think it's pretty much all Wilkes. He better be involved in terms of the game planning during the week. Better be. So I think defense, it's not, there's no script. There really isn't any play calling per se. It's more checks at the line. You know, they come out in 3-by-1. Okay, you're going to go cover 6. If they do this and they motion that they go empty backfield, you're going to send the weak side linebacker. There's always different checks, and you have to evolve during the game. Like James Cook had 3 straight runs to open up the second half. That just gashed the Jets. And it was the same thing, cutbacks on every run, and they over pursued Sherwood, Quincy. They overextended down the line.
I thought the D-line actually played pretty well watching it back. It was really the linebackers in the secondary in the run game specifically. Missed tackles.
D-line didn't get destroyed, but there was some, and I'll say this, the D-line adjusted a bit during the game where they played a little better, but they were trying to overcompensate once they started the second half, I feel like. And you're not wrong. I agree with you.
I didn't think it was the same. Like last year, they got gashed and the D-line was horrendous. I didn't think that was the same issue with why they got gashed this week, if that makes sense.
Agreed. And I think that goes down to individual coaching. Instead of attacking gaps relentlessly with hair on fire, they're more reading and reacting at the line of scrimmage. Harrison Phillips and other guys, that's the way they're teaching it. But when you're gaming up front and you're pass rushing and you see guys flying past Josh Allen and getting behind him, you can't do that against a running quarterback in the NFL. You have to be responsible. And that goes to just opponent specific teachings. And that's what has to happen each week.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple minutes left with Sabo in his weekly spot, but let's bring on a man that we call around here our king.
Jake, my brother. Robby Sabo, my brother, and his hair, Robby Sabo, my brother.
What's up?
It's always good to see you fine, brothers. let me just say this, man. It took me 2 days to really call in because I really had to digress from all of the game and I knew the commentary and all of the bullshit was gonna come. Let me just say this, man. If you're not pissed off as a Jet fan, I don't know where your optimism level is. I don't know what the hell you're watching. I don't know what the hell you're being positive about. Okay? From the beginning of the year, I told you guys, I told the chat, I told everybody who's out in Jet land. This season is going to fall on coaching. It is going to be imperative that this coaching staff gets it right. Okay? This coaching staff I don't know, they got their head too far up their ass. I don't know what the hell Aaron Glenn is talking about when he's talking all of this crap. Hey, let me just say this, man. Glenn, you can't talk about all of this macho machismo crap no more, man. We don't want to hear that. All we want to hear is about doggone winning and getting the undisciplined bullcrap off the field. Okay? I don't want to hear nothing about no moral victories or whatever the hell Mark was talking about Jake not getting mad at the coach. I don't want to hear that crap. Jake has every right to be pissed the hell off. Okay? We all have a right to be pissed the hell off. Okay? This is ridiculous, man. Year after year, the same bullshit. Year after year. Okay? This is ridiculous. This cannot be tolerated year after year, again and again. It can't. Y'all gonna sit up here and defend the same bullshit we've been watching for the past 3 to 4 years, man. It's idiotic. It's stupid. Okay? This cannot be tolerated, man. Okay? At the end of the day, Michael Clemens needs to go. He cannot see the damn field no more. Okay? Just like the child couldn't play, you saw the child couldn't play. The man cannot stay disciplined. He cannot play disciplined freaking football. It is 3rd and 19. 3rd and 19. Don't touch nobody. Keep everything in front of you. Don't touch shit. Don't touch shit. What are you doing? It's 3rd and freaking 19. That's the game. That's when we lost. Okay? Everybody and their mama knew. Don't touch the freaking quarterback. Okay? And I'm trying to be, this is really me calm. Okay? Because this is bullcrap. Year after year. Okay? I don't know what the hell is going on with this doggone defense, man. But Brandon Stevens cannot play. What the hell are we looking at game after game, knowing players cannot play the position and they still let them play? What the hell? I don't get it. It's mind-boggling. This is bullshit, man. I'm telling you, this cannot be tolerated. I love this team. Okay? I really do love the team. I can give a damn about players. But coaching is imperative. And you have the talent to put them in position to freaking win. Okay? We need to freaking win. Let me say this about these sucker duck patriot Boston bitches in the freaking chat. Okay? Y'all get y'all sucker duck cheating punk ass out of the damn chat. Okay? We don't want to see y'all punk Boston bitches no freaking more. Okay? Y'all get y'all sucker duck cheating bitch ass out of the freaking chat and off the damn show. I don't want to see no damn Pat 12, whatever the freak his name is. He's a Boston punk. And I never want to see that doggone punk again. All right? This about the damn Jets, and it's all about the damn Jets. Okay? We don't give a damn about nothing else but the New York Jets. And let that be known. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
There's something about calling someone a doggone punk that's worse than any curse word that exists. Like, this is brilliant.
King Lowski, everybody. If you had the sound on in your headphones, your ears probably hurt. But everything he said needed to be said.
And he's 100% right. 3rd and 19. Listen, 0-0 game early in the game. Do a good job defensively. Get it to a 3rd and 19. Guess what? Again, 3rd and 19. You'd think they go 2-man or too deep on some level. Single high safety yet again. Insanity, but still tip my cap. Good coverage. Whether it was a man or 3. And on top of it, I like this guy, Michael Carter. Great coverage, but it was too close for comfort. His left hand is on the hip well before the ball arrives. Like, you can get flagged for illegal contact or holding and just blow the play. It's 3rd and 19. You're allowed to just play it the right way situationally. So it wasn't just Clemens. It was Carter as well.
Man, it just that play, though, Robbie, right? The Clemens play. Let's say it's 3-0 and the Fields fumble still happens. Well, the defense at that point still did hold Buffalo to a field goal. It's only 6-0.
Yes.
The difference between 10 and the difference between 6-0 versus 10-0 is significant. And I think Fields just lost all his confidence. And as you brought up the coaching aspect, there was just so many times where the Bills just knew what the Jets were going to do. They were too predictable and they shut it down and just things started to spiral from there, man. But
and kudos to Clemens for, I'm watching him right now. Kudos to Clemens for getting away from 2 Bills linemen to track Allen. It's not like you beat him off the line, but that's okay. Like, you're playing Allen. You want to hang, if one of the D tackles are going to hang back a little bit, chase down the line. Cool. That's perfect. Kudo, he did everything right, but then that penalty just washed it all away.
Unreal. There's a guy on Twitter who's such a moron. Tyler Kirk. He took a screenshot of, you know what? I'm just gonna troll him right back. So he took a screenshot. I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Yeah.
He's upset that I've been critical of Aaron Glenn. And I even put out a tweet this morning being like, anyone talking about tanking is ridiculous or whatever. So he took my tweet and he's like, totally agree with this. Anyway, here's Jake's show where he superimposed Aaron Glenn's face on a Robert Sala's body with a headline, "How worried should Jet fans be about Aaron Glenn?" Hey, dumbass. This was sent to me in my Discord. I thought it was funny, so we showed it. It's a joke.
I think I got a theory here. Parkinson is actually Tyler Kirk burner because I see Parkinson there. His face. I don't trust that face. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you gonna blame Will for it?
What else are we gonna do? Like, come on, I gotta have some kind of fun right now. Jeez. Yeah, dude. Listen, I laughed when I saw that photo, and if you're Glenn, you'd laugh too. It's a funny joke, and I laughed especially because you showed Beningo.
Just like, this guy is such an idiot. Can everyone please tweet at Tyler Ian Kirk?
There's no likes. There's no likes or retweets on it. You're hooking them up
sent
here.
it.
Okay.
I'm down. I'm responding right now because I'm petty. I'm like, it was sent to me in my Discord and we showed it on the show as a joke. Calm down, comma, clown.
Who created that image? That's what I would like to know.
I don't know. I saw it making the rounds on Twitter after, but someone DM'd it to me on Discord. People are so stupid, man. It's unreal. You can't laugh at that. No one's saying Aaron Glenn is Salah. We're saying that was a Salah-esque game, and we're trying to have fun at the expense of how miserable we all are and try to make ourselves laugh a little bit. Jeez.
Listen, if you're more upset about it than the man who's actually involved, Glenn, you gotta reevaluate things a little. Let's be real.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Anyway, one last super chat, Robbie, then I'll let you run. I'll stay on for the remainder of the calls. Birkinator says, I've been a fan my whole life. Guys who have been fans for longer really shock me. Beyond getting blown out, inexcusable. We find ways to lose that statistically 99.9% are won by competent organizations. This changes with AG. You hope it does, because Sunday felt very Jet-like week one, despite the positives on the offensive side of the ball. They had a lead. They couldn't hold the lead. They lose. They're 0-2. I mean, it is what it is. Like, obviously, that no one was expecting a 10-win season. Some of you were. I wasn't. But I expected them to not have games like what we just saw on Sunday in week 2. I think that's a concern. And now, but I'll tell you what, from like an interest standpoint, you're almost more interested to see how they respond Sunday than if they had lost a close game to Buffalo. Like, this is true adversity now for Glenn and the staff. How do they respond to it?
Agreed. And the other part of this too is the emotion end of it, which is very real. And the emotion end of it and controlling the emotions of a team is a big part that the head coach has to handle. Parcells, he did it well. It's a huge part. And the jury is still out on that with Glenn. And our hope is that that is one of the categories that Glenn is great with. After week 1, they lost, but what was the feedback? It was mostly praise, right? The best thing for a coach is when you win, but there's plenty to criticize. It was the exact opposite. That's the worst case. You lose, but you're praised. So maybe they were feeling their oats a little bit and got ahead of themselves. Let's see how Glenn controls those emotions this week. That's a big thing.
It's well said. Robby, what is the big stuff we need to know about Jet X? I was reading a little Nick Faria columns. Nadia's been in columns. We got Connor Long running like 17 articles, probably in between classes in high school.
Crushing it, man. Yeah, dude, we got to be careful. We got to see his report card, make sure. I got some film stuff coming out today. Just go to jet6factor.com and JetX Mobile on the App Store and Google Play. 2 things: the defense, the predictability in every third and passing down, cover 1, and just not paying attention to game planning details. That's going to be the theme in terms of the film stuff today.
Robby, you are the man, and I will let everyone know Joe Blewett is my guest at 4 p.m. on the second stream today. So your co-owner,
partner right there.
That's right. Film breakdown with Blewett. And we're going to do something that apparently you suggested. We're going to play like bed music underneath the highlights to see if we could get around YouTube's BS, copyright issue.
They never used to do this with film, the NFL. They encouraged it, but I think it's gotten to a point where so many people are, and I don't blame them in a lot of regards.
My entire show last week got flagged. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame them in a lot of regards because people are putting film breakdowns out and they're just playing the play. You know what I mean? So in one hand, I don't blame them because it's not helping anybody. But on the other hand, yeah, you got to do it now because they never used to do it in the past. So throw a little music underneath, see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see if that maybe does something for us. I don't know. But either way, I will see you in Tampa in a few days. When are you flying down Friday or Saturday?
Saturday to Monday. Yeah.
I'm in there Saturday a.m. So I'll see you. See you there.
You got it. I'll track you down, see where you're at.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robby Sabo. Now, before we move on, I want to read Mark's comment. It says, Jake, a public apology. I don't doubt your sincere love of the Jets' desire for us to be a successful franchise. Mark, we're all good, man. I'm sorry I blew up on you. I'm tired of losing, man. Tired of losing games. It's enough. You and everyone watching that is a Jet fan deserve better. It's a joke. Sam with a super chat. He's in for 2. How could coaching make winning a habit for this team? Has GM handled talent acquisition properly? It's very early on with Muji to say whether or not he's done that properly. You can't judge his draft class yet. We're 2 games into it, although there are some encouraging things with Armand Membu for sure. The other picks, not so much. We'll see. But way too early. What I will criticize Muji for is Michael Clemens being on this team if he's still on this team because the guys behind him are that much worse. That's a bad job by a GM not being proactive and addressing that need in the offseason or even this summer. The one thing Muji I thought did really well, I think getting Harrison Phillips and Jawan Briggs for what they gave up, which is like 3 6th-round picks total, was a great job by the front office. By the way, Briggs, number 91, he's good. He was good again this week. Kind of lost in the shuffle given how bad the game was, but he graded out really well. He made some plays. Look how strong he was on the 1 sack they did get on Allen. That was a good move. But D-line, specifically the edge position, there's problems there. How do the coaches make winning a habit? I mean, if I knew the answer to that, I'd be coaching them, right? I mean, that's on Aaron Glenn. He's going to take what he learned in New Orleans and Detroit and what he had, his experience as a player, and try and apply it. We'll see. You need more than 2 games to do it, but it doesn't excuse how bad it was Sunday. No one's saying they had to win, but 30-3 after 3 quarters, really? Jock Joe says, I'm NYPD, and I needed a good laugh this rainy morning. Jock, appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for your service. Speaking of police officers, Joe Blewett is a cop. And as I mentioned to Robbie, he'll be joining us at 4 today. More calls, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get porked in the morning. Pork in the morning. How we doing?
Hey, Jake. What's up, man? How's it going? Unfortunate what happened on Sunday. They looked disgusting, sickening. Like they didn't even know how to play football or even wanted to play. I mean, I've never seen somebody so unprepared or a team that just flat out sucked. I mean, and it's heartbreaking too. Like every Sunday, you turn the game on, and from the first series, you know what was going to happen. And I have no faith right now in this team could do anything after a play like that, after playing like that. But there were some positive. I mean, the offensive line is still good. People are trash, and they're not bad. What's bad is that we were unprepared. And that unprepared. Forget about calling them solid 2.0 because it's much worse at this point, the way that they played. I know it's only 2 games, so we can't jump to conclusions. I love Aaron Glenn. I want him here. But that was worse than the same old Jets. I don't even know what you call that, what was on Sunday. I mean, and I can't even flip out and get mad and scream and holler anymore because I've done so much of that in the past. I think I've burned out. I mean, I'm in green hell, like it says. I mean, as Jets fans, we're owed something at the end of the day, right? At some point, you have to give us something, not just complete hell, lost the whole fucking time. It's, man, it just never stops.
Nope. Never.
I mean, I feel like we're a punch drunk boxer at this point. Like we just love getting beat on. Yeah, today it's Sunday. Well, but by 4:00 I'm going to be miserable. It's a good thing I don't drink anymore because right now I'd be blacked out. You wouldn't even. I would have been incoherent on Sunday and fighting people. It would have been a nightmare. But I'm sober and I was able to deal with it in a healthy manner. My brother got married this weekend. It was a great time. Penn State at least won. That wasn't much of a game. But just the Jets every Sunday. This weekend, we got to do something. You guys are going to be there too. Make some noise. I mean, Jake, go down on the field and make a tackle for Sauce. You could have made that tackle in the backfield. You tackle the man low, you go for his legs, you go high on Josh Allen. Come on.
I would just hold on, man. Sauce tried to just hit stick him, and it's like, dude, just wrap up and wait for the help to get there, man. You don't expect you to tackle him.
He bounced off him. Allen laughed after the play. Like, look at this fool. What did he try to do? I mean, God, you can't. This shit is real simple, man. You block and you tackle. And the coaches, it's pretty simple too. Put your guys in where they can make fucking plays. You don't over pursue on Allen the whole time. So undisciplined. That one run, that 40-some yard run, it looked like it was a child's game out there for that running back. You ever see those when I coach little kids or whatever? One kid was way better than everybody else just running around the field. That's how the Jets made him look on Sunday. Like he was Walter Payton or Gale Sayers out there. Well, I think I got it out of me. I'm done, guys. Jet life to the next life. I love you guys. We have the greatest fans. We have the shittiest team though right now.
I love it. Hang in there, Pork. The Jake Asman Show pennant I see arrived. It looks good.
It did. That was when I came home, that was waiting on my doorstep. So that's awesome.
You're the man, Pork. Hang in there, all right?
I will. Have a great day, guys.
You guys.
Thank you very much to Pork of the Morning. Matt P., thank you for entering our raffle. 3 items were given away today. First time we've allowed day of for the weekly raffle. Sauce signed jersey, Jermaine signed jersey, Fields signed jersey, our top prizes. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Yesterday, I got a chance to talk with Scott Van Pelt when I filled in for Michael K. on radio. If you missed it, here's a short snippet of my conversation with SVP talking about The NYJ.
I'm very disheartened because I thought with Aaron Glenn, things were going to be different. These type of performances were not going to happen. What did you make watching the Bills just absolutely beat down the Jets yesterday at MetLife?
I mean, you live it in a different way than I do as a Jet fan, but it's just from afar, I'm thinking, well, this is to change the characters, but it's the same movie, right? I mean, it's a new quarterback. There was optimism week one. New coach. There's optimism there, but I think what Buffalo has at the moment is I don't know. They're clearly going to be the bullies of the block, and they jump them early and get ahead. And then once they were ahead, they seemed to have Fields in hell. He couldn't get anything going. And so I think that on some level, you just played the gold standard team in the AFC East. So you can kind of just shrug and chalk it up to that. But you at least wanted to be competitive, and you weren't. And so that's where the gulf is, right? It feels very similar to what we've seen in years past as it relates to them just being kind of non-competitive as it relates to the best team in the AFC East. And for the longest, it was New England, and for the moment, it's now Buffalo.
And in terms of just what the expectations were for the Jets, Scott, I don't think anyone thought this team was destined to win 10 games and be a playoff team. But I think one of the things we as fans were sold with Aaron Glenn is this team will be competitive. This team's going to be well coached. And it felt like that for week one. I mean, I guess we don't know who any team is just 2 games in, but to your point, it felt like a game that we as Jet fans have seen so many times, no matter if it's Robert Saleh or Jeff Ulbrich, Adam Gase, Todd Bowles, and I think that's why this fan base is down in the dumps today.
Yeah, and I think the thing, Jake, that I say every year, and I mean, I've done it for a long time. I try to get out of like these verbal crutches, but I mean, truly, the first month of the season, what do we really know, right? I mean, last week the headlines were the Detroit Lions, they stink, their offense is awful, or they score 52 the next week. Maybe it's just the Bears aren't very good, right? Maybe that's what we'll learn over time. I think week one for the Jets I think they're closer to that than what we saw yesterday. I just think you're grading with a really sharp pencil when you go up against Buffalo, and there's a gigantic gulf between them and probably most teams.
The full interview I did with Scott is up on the YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcast, if you're interested. How about this that happened during the clip being played? John says, nothing to say, just entering the raffle. A $100 super chat to earn 20 raffle tickets.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
John, thank you, my friend. Appreciate your support every day, and good luck in the raffle, which we'll do at the end of the stream. So there's still time to enter. More calls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head to the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline and say hello to a man who always brings smart, unique, interesting takes. But here's the thing. Where is he delivering those takes from?
What's going on, Jake? How are you?
Inside from V-Man's room. Wow.
Yep. So I think that SVP was underselling it a little bit. This Buffalo team might have been the gold standard in the AFC, right? With the Chiefs showing a little bit of slippage, and you think about the other teams in the league. It looks like the Chargers and the Broncos are probably on the come, and we know the Ravens are good, but you'd probably put the Bills up there with any of them. It's not an excuse for not being competitive. It's just a fact of life, right? The other thing is and I hate to go against my king, but the money that we paid to Brandon Stevens is kind of prohibitive. We kind of got to see over more than 2 games a little bit more from him, I think. It's just you can't cut him. It would behoove you to put him on the bench at this point just for AZT, but it might be for AZ Thomas, but it might be coming, but you got to see a little bit more, especially since it's a new system And some of these things might have to do with pass offs or lack of discipline in the secondary. Um, you know, I don't know what you do there, like, but you don't want to exacerbate the problem by just like moving on from him and accelerating his money. Um, we're in a tough situation. We are in a must win against a non-conference opponent this week if we want to salvage our season. So maybe that'll cause some desperation from Glenn, or maybe that the changes will be a little bit more subtle in the secondary. They'll move to Malachi Moore because moving past Tony Adams is not prohibitive, right?
You could hold him accountable, though, in the case of Stevens. Like, you could bench him for a game. Doesn't mean that he's benched forever.
Right. I mean, my point is I think we're getting there. I don't know if we're there just...
I don't think it's this week either, Kyle.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's too soon after 3 games. The whole defense sucks. They'll say. Like, they're not going to do it yet.
Yeah. As far as the offense goes, maybe going with Tyron and giving teams kind of a different look will be a temporary boost for us, because they're similar in some ways but quite different in others. That's the only thing, as a Jet fan after last week you can really hang your hat on, right? Like, maybe Tyrod as a veteran can give us a boost, be a little bit more disciplined, and you kind of go from there. That's all I had, Jake.
Yep, well said, Kyle. I think Tyrod, at least from a passing standpoint, could open some things up Sunday. I think this is a more winnable game than some realize. After watching the Bucs last night, some of the injuries they have. CJ Stroud, by the way. The bloom has certainly come off him a little bit. He struggled. I saw a stat that over the last 12 games, he has the lowest QBR in football. I think it's a winnable game Sunday if Tyrod takes care of the ball, because I think the Jets should be able to be competent on offense with him as long as they protect him. I think the O-line is good enough. Now, the one bet I'm going to make on FanDuel whenever I see the odds officially posted, because you can't bet on prop bets this early in the week, Hassan Reddick is getting a sack Sunday, right? We all know that's how this goes. Reddick is getting a sack, isn't he? I'm sure he will. So I'll probably bet that one. So at least I can make money on our misery. But the Bucs, they're 2-0. We need the Todd Bowles kind of let down. They got some injuries to their O-line. We saw Houston last night really put a lot of pressure on Baker. So the Jet D-line should be able to play well. And if the offense is competent, I don't think it's a blowout. I'm not going to pick the Jets. But I think they have a chance. It's the NFL. Of course they have a chance. Mark with a super chat. Glenn should hire Robby Sabo to check the tape. His breakdowns are top notch. P.S. Different Mark. Mark, I know. Thank you, man. At 100%, man. Sabo's awesome. That's why he's been a part of our show now for years. Big fan of what he does and everyone at JetX. I think they do an awesome job covering the team every day. And they have something for everyone. If you want news, you find that there. If you want opinion, you'll find that there. If you want analytics or film review, you'll find that there. So check it out, jetsxfactory.com. Can't say enough good things about that site. Bo says, I'll be furious if Reddick gets a sack. Literally, I'll lose my mind. It's going to happen, dude. Elijah Moore scoring a touchdown. Rodgers came back through 4 touchdowns. It's how it goes. But, I mean, it would make sense for Bowles to, win and stick it to the Jets, right? This is the first time the Jets have played Bowles since he's been a head coach. They played him when he was the DC, but never as the head coach. So it would make sense given our misery, right? Last year we lose to Geno. We lose to Darnold last year. Rex knocks us out of the playoffs the last time we had any decent chance to be a good football team. It'd be very Jet-like for them to lose this game, and that's what Aaron Glenn's up against. Prove that it's going to be different. No one's going to give you a chance. Have that signature win. But Reddick, win or lose, you know he's getting a sack, don't you? You know it. It's just, I mean, this is the life we live. I hope I'm wrong, though, obviously. Super chat from BJF. Did you see Buffalo Jet fans tweet on Clemens? God, he sucks. I did not, but I can agree with the opinion that Michael Clemens is not a good football player. I mean, the man has more personal foul penalties than he does career sacks. Oh, I think I see it. I'll show this on the air. Good call, big fella. This is funny. BGF has been making this joke on his show, so for him to take it to Twitter is hilarious too. Buffalo Jet fan has a solution to the Michael Clemens situation. He nominates Matt O'Leary for the starting edge in Tampa if Jermaine Johnson can't go. The stats check exactly what we're looking for now. By the way, Clemens doesn't even get credited for a pressure on the penalty he had. He doesn't even get credited for a pressure on the 3rd and 19 dumbassery. That's amazing. What a joke, man. Such a joke. Black Gypsy, thank you. You're in the raffle for one. Beats Custom Kicks in the house. Everyone see PBM show off his Beats Custom Kicks yesterday at the end of the show? Good morning, Jake. I always want in on a Jermaine Johnson item. Rough week, but I still think Aaron Glenn is the guy. To make matters worse, I'm working on 2 pairs of Bills kicks for a customer. What timing? Jets, Jets, Jets. You poor soul. Dave, if you really want to mess with him, draw up a photo of Scott Norwood's kick going wide right on the shoes. Huh? Beats Custom Kicks. BeatsCustoms.com. Support Kyle and his team. Kyle, I'm packing both my jet kicks to my Tampa trip. The white ones and the green and white ones. I'll be rocking them. Let's see. Did I miss any other super chats here? A quick glance. I don't think I did. Let's get to your last remaining calls, and then we'll do our weekly raffle for 3 signed items, folks. And remember, if you enter for the weekly raffle today, which we've never done in show, you're also entered in next week's weekly raffle, which I won't spill all the prizes, but the first one, I can tell you, it's a signed Darrell Rivas football. Pretty cool. All right. More calls. Jordan's next. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, what's up, Jake? Did you watch the game last night with Tampa?
This is a Lane joke? Yes, I did watch the game last night.
I'm just trying to be positive, man. Everybody's so negative right now. You know, Tampa didn't look that great. They had 14 points scored until the end of the game. They have a lot of injuries. Their best offensive lineman, Tristan Wirfs, is out. I don't know if he's going to play. You know, that could be a big day for Will McDonald and the D-line and Quinnen. And I think Tyrod will do pretty good. I think he can move the ball. I think they're going to force feed Garrett. But we need other receivers to step up, too. We have no receivers stepping up, making any type of plays whatsoever.
I don't think they can step up because they're not very good. And that's part of the problem. And by the way, part of the reason Brandon Stevens, I'm sure, had a good quote-unquote training camp, he was going up against bad receivers minus Garrett Wilson every week. So that's probably part of it, too.
That's very true. But how, like, I don't understand how they're not telling this guy, yo, when you're right there in the receiver's hip, turn your head around and look for the ball. Like, I don't understand why signing Stevens was such a bright idea when Baltimore, out of all places, let him go. They didn't think he was good.
Right.
So why did we think he was going to be good? I get Aaron Glenn was a corner and could like teach him and coach him up, but it just hasn't shown itself. It hasn't shown itself at all.
I don't know, man. I question the signing like everyone else when they made it. You want to give him a chance. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, Glenn's background is being a corner, right? I mean, let's hope he gets better because he's on this team for this year and next year. His contract's essentially guaranteed for the first 2 years of it.
Yeah, and so I heard Alan Lazard came in and played last week too. Do you think they're still going to keep him, or do you think they plan on getting rid of him?
I think they are kind of in a spot where they need him right now because of Reynolds' injury. Maybe if Reynolds is healthy, they'd finally move on from Lazard. I don't know. He does nothing, though, man. I'd rather give those reps to anyone else that's younger that it's more valuable to than him at this point.
And one quick question for you too. So I seen that Curtis Samuel, not Curtis Samuel, Asante Samuel Jr. is still a free agent. How would you feel if the Jets signed him?
I don't know enough about the year he had last year. I don't think they're going to add a corner though, right? He's a corner.
Yeah, he is a corner. But I just don't like Stevens. I would rather just. I know it's
then
not
Jordan,
gonna
you should be saying they should be playing AZ Thomas then, who they use a 3rd round pick on. That's who should be playing. Hopefully he's ready to play if they make that switch. Like people, the Jets used a top pick, 3rd round pick on a guy that many had as a top 50 graded player. He had a slow 40 time at the combine, so he fell a little bit, but draft people say, hey, play speed. He plays faster than how he ran. I mean, what corner just runs a straight line anyway in the NFL? You don't just run a straight line if you're a corner. You're running different routes for receivers. And he's a big physical, like man-to-man corner. He played a lot of press man at Florida State. So that's the MO of what Glenn and Wilkes' defense is. They play a ton of man and rely on their corners, who outside of Sauce, you don't trust. And even Sauce had a bad game last week. A.D. Pugnan, thank you for supporting the show. You are in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
Hello? You play to win the game.
5 people just got a membership from AD. So make sure you thank them if you're one of the 5 who did, in fact, receive said gifted membership. Tom D in the house. Don't love this matchup for our defense. That kid, Ibuka, is nice. Can see him lighting Stevens up all game. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you you're wrong for feeling that way. I don't think it's as bad of a matchup as you think, though, because Sauce could cover Mike Evans. Mike Evans didn't kill the Texans last night because Derek Stingley shadowed Mike Evans for the whole game. Sauce could do the same thing as we saw him take Metcalf out of the game week 1. As far as the other matchups, I mean, Baker's really good. The Bucs have a good running back. It's not going to be easy. Do I think it's winnable? I do. We can get a little Todd Bowl special. Bucs maybe overlook the Jets. Jets D-line causes havoc. Like, think about it. Houston had bad quarterback play last night. They're killing Stroud in Houston today. Trust me, I did radio there for 6 years. I know. All right. Yeah, I already saw the tweets and I checked in on some Texans content this morning because I was curious. Stroud had a bad game, and if the Houston defense stops Baker Mayfield on 4th and 10, they win. You know? Like, it came down to that play. Baker used his legs to extend it on the game-winning drive. So, I think Tampa's a good football team, but they're not going 17-0. They're going to lose a game here or there. Every team also loses a game they're not supposed to. Like, if you're the Jets, be that team. I'm not picking them, but I don't want to just, like, punt on the game and say there's no chance. This is not, you're not facing the Bills this week. Devin, he's in the Asmaniac raffle for 5.
Show me the money.
Show me the money! Money.
There you go. Thank you, DNY for life. Ryan McCarthy. Ryan checking in. He won something the other day, but I already forget what it was. But Ryan, congrats to you on that. And you're in this raffle for 1. And our committee chairman, Boomtown, gifting a channel membership. Who's ready for Asmaniac Madness? All right, home stretch here. Tommy's next on the show this morning. What's up, Tommy?
Jake, what's up, brother?
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, listen, I just wanted to say, I'll be quick. You got the voice of a Jets angel, of a broadcaster, just like King Lowski got a Jets angel of our voice of our fan base. Like, that's how we feel, baby. Like, let's go. I wanted to bring this up to Robby, but he jumped off. Like you mentioned in the second show yesterday, if Tyrod gets hurt, right? If Field is in, can't play, say he's inactive for protocol for the concussion. If Tyrod gets hit and he's out and we're down to Cook, like, we're screwed off the bat. Like, are they going to bring in a veteran quarterback? And my second point was to the defense. Like, it was basically, I'm not going to keep repeating what everybody said. Like, is Michael Clemens still going to be on the team? I like what Jets Johnny said yesterday. Like, he was going after him, but he's made too many penalties. And the thing is, you can't release him because we have nobody to replace him. There's nobody better than him on our team. So, like, when it comes down to also my third point, Brandon Stevens and Michael Clemens, they both play like dog shit. We all know that. When is AZ and Malachi Moore going to actually step up and be into this game?
Well,
And
Moore
good luck
played a
in
lot last week because Tony Adams got hurt. So
I know, but
maybe
Tony Adams and Brandon, like you signed Brandon Stevens to this big contract. Are they going to move him to safety or actually sit his ass? Because like he looks like the worst player on that defense, Brandon Stevens. I see 21, 21, 21. He either falls down to the ground, he can't catch the ball, he's behind the receiver, he's never in time. Like he's getting dog shitted on, and every team's going to go his way with Sauce on the opposite side. Like when are they actually going to make a move?
I don't know. I mean, maybe this week. We'll see. I mean, it's 2 games in, right? As bad as
Jake,
it is, it's 2 games in.
Jake, if they get the good luck in Tampa with all you Jet fans. I wish I was there, but if Brandon Stevens lets up another couple touchdowns, like a touchdown or two, and gets beat like dog shit like he did, they better sit his fucking ass down or Aaron Glenn's out. God bless you, Jet fans, Asmaniacs. Love you guys.
Tommy, if that happens and they don't bench Stevens, Aaron Glenn's not going to get fired. I think barring the Jets winning like 2 games or less, Glenn's the coach, no matter what. They're not going to fire him. But by the way, if they win 2 games, they probably should fire him. This team shouldn't be 2 wins bad. Salo won 4 games with a way worse roster, a way worse quarterback his rookie year. Emir writes in, NFL's week to week. Hopefully the Jets defense starts to gel and the offense can be healthy enough to create momentum in the run game. I agree. I mean, NFL is week to week, unless seemingly you root for the Jets, and then we see the same thing over and over again. Hopefully it's different for once. Spencer Green. Super chat. Beastbreaker crashes out because he's a movie star. I don't understand that. Also, where the hell is Bobby Midnight? Bobby doesn't call as much anymore. The charm on Bobby Midnight has seemingly been eroding for some time. I don't know. I have no updates on Robert Woodruff. He called in, I think, a couple times last week, but we haven't heard from him. So I don't know the answer to that. Let's say hello to the Lup Man, who's next. Hey, Luppy.
Hey, Jake, how you doing today? A little tough, right? Good job.
Yeah. Usually by Wednesday, the pain of like the loss, like it's down to a point where like I'm already like moving forward, you know?
Yeah, it's just part of living as a Jet fan. That's
it's just like Mondays, Sundays after the game. The problem with I like the Jets playing at 1. Believe me, like it's nice to not have to be up until 3 in the morning, then up again at like 7 to get ready for the early stream. But the one downside of playing at 1, once your team loses, like you just got to sit with it the whole rest of the day. It's miserable.
Doesn't make watching the rest of the games that enjoyable. Not that I watch them. I put it on tape. I have to watch it after the fact because, got to work. But listen, thank God we have you because I am on football probation for my wife. Not meaning that I can't watch it, but she used to be a great big Jet fan. She's come to games with me, watch the games, but I got a little too crazy for her. So she said, I'm on probation this year, and that if I calm down watching the games, that she's going to start joining back on. I can get her back, to watching the games with me, back to where we used to be. But I guess she's smarter than me. I'm still a little crazy, but I kept it cool. It was extremely tough. That's why I said, thank God we have you. So now I can let it out because she's at work. But Jake, let me tell you, it's just I saw this coming. I didn't want to see it coming. I'm sure you saw it coming too. I mean, the Bills defense plays every single week, practices against Josh Allen, who's a better running quarterback than who we have, a better throwing quarterback than who we have. And they were playing a worse offense, I hate to say it, or a new offense in the Jets. It was like a buzzsaw they were walking into. Their offense is going to have a hard time against the Jets. I knew it was going to be something like this. I was hoping it wasn't. Their talent level is there. We played the Super Bowl contender this year. You know, they're up in there. People predicted them to win the Super Bowl. We're just getting our stuff together. But when you have a little less talent, which is what we have, you know, the only two things are going to make us better is coaching and effort. And we didn't see either last week. And that's what pisses us off. That's what pisses me off. I wanted to see like them going for it, not making stupid penalties, which they did again. And we all know the two guys. One's off the team, one's here. What are we going to do about that guy? We'll see. But it's just, you saw the buzzsaw coming. You want to have hope. If they gave the effort, and they did not give the effort, as soon as a penalty came from Clemens, it seemed like they stepped it down a level in effort from what I saw. The coaching staff, they were obviously they were out coached. You could see that, but it was just like you could see by the first quarter that shit's not going our way. And it's not going to get any better. And it's very frustrating to be a Jet fan because we've seen this before, like you said, that picture of the Glenn Solid thing. It was all in our heads before actually somebody made it because we're sick of this. Just you want to see coaching and effort. You know, if they lost, like you said, it's a great team that we played against. The effort wasn't there, Jake, and that's coaching too. So I hope that they just get their crap together. Like you said, maybe they were a little inflated in their heads because they were getting praised after losing. But you know, Tampa is going to be tough. Tommy made a good point. Number 21, they're going to be picking on all day long till he proves
right.
it. You know, if they have a smart defensive coach, maybe they set him up. But no, we're not at that level. We're not at that level in coaching. These are rookie coaches. You know, so we're going to get a lot of lumps, guys. A lot of lumps before it gets better. I hate to say it, but I'm saying it now. I didn't want to say it too much last week, but after seeing what I saw, you know, good coaches would have won the first game. And, you know, good coaches would at least competed last game. So hate to be so down. I'm still going to root for my team. I'm still going to be a Jet fan for life. I'm sucked in. You guys ain't getting rid of me. They're not getting rid of me. We're going to get rid of Woody. We'll get rid of everybody else before I get rid of me, unless, you know, God forbid something happens. You know, but just I'll be it for life. And thank you, Jake, because, you know, you're the therapist that gets us through the day. That's why we're asking all the time. And I appreciate you so much. And that's why I said thank you, because I'm on football probation and I want my wife to get back on. So hopefully we get some wins together, and I'm sure that'll bring her in.
I love it.
Good luck in Tampa. I mean, you guys are going to go down there, and it's not the attitude you wanted. But hopefully we got a couple of wins when I go to the Carolina game with my brother and meet up with you. So I'm looking forward to that. Because win, lose, or draw, I'll be there.
Luppy, you're the man. Well said. Hopefully, look, to your point, hopefully they surprise Sunday. You know, we were surprised at week one as far as what the offense looked like. Let's see. I'd be surprised if this is not a close game. If they get blown out again, I don't know, man. Be tough to stomach that if that happens again. Because you're not playing the Bills Sunday. You're playing a good team, but they're not a Super Bowl threat necessarily. I don't think they are. They can't get blown out. I missed Devin's 21-month anniversary milestone super chat earlier, so here it is. Hi, Jake. This past game hurt my brain. How is our D this bad with an ex-head coach for DC at AG? I don't know about 12-5, but here comes 10 wins. Keep hope. 10 wins. You were at 12-5, Devin. Good Lord. Ugh. 12-5. Ugh. I don't know, man. I've been shocked though by the defenses. Some people are saying maybe we overrated some of our talent. I guess. Are we ignoring that there is talent though? They shouldn't be this bad. There's continuity there. Your D-line has a lot of good players on it. The linebackers have been terrible, but they're good players. We saw it with Sherwood last year. Quincy's been an all-pro. And Quincy, there's been some really good plays. There's also been the boneheaded penalty week one. He had a terrible missed tackle against James Cook last week on the big run. Safety's a problem. We knew it could be a problem. We thought it would be an upgrade over last year, but it's still a problem unless Malachi Moore gets more playing time and grows into the role. Stevens has been a huge problem. Carter hasn't played well. I don't know. I mean, it's shocking. Doesn't mean they can't figure it out, though. The defense by the Jets in 2022 ended up being damn good, but it started bad. So they do need a little more time there, but I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't concerned. How could you not be? Rebecca says, I believe the window for the Jets is 5 to 10 wins. I think there's a chance at some point in my life I'm going to marry Margot Robbie. That's how wide your window is, Rebecca. 5 to 10. There's a huge difference between 5 wins and 10. You told me the window was between 5 and 7. I'd be like, okay. 5 and 10? The Jets haven't won 10 games in a decade. That's a pretty big window. That window is bigger than our next caller. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to...
Hello, miss. I'd like to purchase this Barney DVD featuring Baby Bop, please and thank you. All right, I got my Baby Bop. Let's go.
It's great that we can't hear anything that he's playing because his mic doesn't pick it up. It has like that setting on where like music sounds don't come through. So we don't hear a damn thing. And Beast probably has no idea. He's out of breath from playing the guitar, it appears.
Good morning, America. Well, I had to get my sweat going. I'm already getting my fingers back in re-rotation. That felt good. A little rotation. Whew. Now to get a little of this. Guess how much this was for a whole 40 pack? $5.
Spencer Green says, "Oh God Almighty, plug the mic in, moron."
Don't you start calling me a moron, you'll get a swift kick in the ass. I just got my good work and my fingers feel good. Get the rotation today. Woo, doctor. Now, Jake, do you want some tomatoes being sent to you? I got some San Marzanos if you want them.
All good, Beast. I appreciate it though.
You don't want some? You don't want some tomato?
No. I'll just buy my own tomatoes.
Okay, because they're all fresh. I just gave them a bath and they're all cleaned up.
You gave them a bath?
Yeah, because when they've been outside for several months, growing and then getting all the rain and the texture and then the moisture and the texture and then the change of the color. That's why you wait. That's why you give them a bath. Get all that crap off of them from the. Because generally, here's the thing: we get airplanes every day, and we don't know if they're spraying aerosol or other forms of disgustingness. That's why you wash them. That's why cold water always works. Cold water works.
Perkinator says it's not even plugged in, just like his useless
It is
mic.
plugged in. You know what your problem is? You can't see either. Well, you have to get one of these blind, glasses. I already saw the game. I'm not talking. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even.
Paul Heyman told me he's tired of you copying him, Beast. He said you couldn't hold his jockstrap.
Paul Heyman is so fat he can't even see straight. He still owes Shane Douglas over $144,000 and 3 cents. Keep up with your department. Fix your income first before you talk to me.
Do you see the irony in calling another man fat?
It's called fix your income first before you talk. Don't come talking to me about my weight. Go fix your income. Go fix that first. But the
Gator
boys
wants to know, did you watch the game yet?
Bits and pieces, and then I had a little bit of stomach trouble this morning, and then that's why I was playing this. My black.
So you were playing the guitar because you had stomach problems. I don't see the correlation.
You see this black beauty right here? I've had this for 13 glorious years, and I'll tell you, it's gone through.
Now, Beast, let's review the fact that you saw nothing of the Jet game on Sunday. Let's go back to the Jets' first drive on offense, Beast. What happened on a key third down? And I'll even give you a little hint. Justin Fields did what?
You know what? If you start after yesterday I was in a foul mood with that whole that crap that you saw. And
how about I'm in a foul mood too? You claimed to have watched the game, and you clearly did not.
You want to head?
You lied to me. I thought we were friends, and you lied to me.
Hey, smart aleck. Tone down your gas.
Hey, this is my show. You called in to talk Jets, but you didn't see the game.
If we could go fireball to fireball in a shooting contest. But when it comes to a one-legged butt-kicking contest,
what happened on third down, Beast? Third down, what happened? Opening drive.
You know what? If these comments and you want to play, and then it's wizardry. And
what did Justin Fields do on third down? Ignore the wizardry and talk football.
You know what? If my blood pressure goes up, y'all can go straight to fucking hell.
your blood pressure is going up because you're morbidly obese and you call a football show and claim to have watched the game and did not see any of said game. That's the issue.
Hello, miss. I'd like to purchase this Barney DVD featuring Baby Bop, please and thank you. All right, I got my Baby Bop. Let's go.
Come on, man. Tom D checks in. Piece of the fraud doesn't watch games. He's a meatball wizard. Wow. Now that is a explosive take.
I am not a meatball.
Tom, you're in the raffle for 2. Last chance to get in here. We've approached our final couple of callers. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph is next. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, how you doing, Jake?
I'm good, Joseph, as well as one could be.
Yeah. You know, I have to rewatch part of the show, but I've been watching the last few days, and I wanted to call in. I'm like, I just can't right now. But what I don't understand is, and I like Taylor, whatever Engstring, whatever how you say his name.
Engstring, yep.
Okay. So I like it. I like the way he called the first game, but what I don't understand is if Justin Fields is struggling, look at Baker Mayfield last night with Bucky Irving. He literally dumped it every play practically to him if he was getting blitzed. And it's like, why don't we do that with the Jets? Why don't we have Breece Hall and Braylon Allen or even Isaiah Davis on the right, left and right? And then if you're getting blitzed, just throw it to one of them on the left or right side. It's like, I don't understand how hard it is to beat a blitz when you know you're getting blitzed every play.
They were as poorly coached as you could be in that game on both sides, it felt like.
Yeah, and this dates back for all the Jets. I mean, Tom Brady, when he's blitzed, he dumps it off to his running back. Anybody that's a screen pass would be great for once. I mean, a wide receiver screen, a tight end screen, heck, and halfback screen. I don't understand it. And I'm not like a genius when it comes to football, but if you're getting blitzed, you got to burn them. If you burn them once or twice, they're going to stop blitzing all the time. So that's all I really have to say. It was just like, I don't understand. I'm not a football player or NFL player or anything, but just watching on my couch every year, I'm like, the blitz is coming. Beat them with a screen. Beat them with Bucky Irving, I don't know how many yards receiving he had last night, but it seemed like every play, if Houston didn't get home, it was going to Bucky Irving for like the third and fourth quarter.
100%. Well, the thing is, though, too, your quarterback in general just needs to play a heck of a lot better because there were times when guys were open to defend Engstrand a little, and Fields just missed throws that could have, opened some things up, made the defense have to respect the pass. But then after that initial miss to Garrett Wilson, there were so many other things you could point to where Fields just completely shit the bed.
Yeah, and I do agree with that, but my thinking is high percentage throws. If he can't read the defense because for whatever reason, if you get him in a groove, because I feel like Justin Fields, like most quarterbacks, are groove. If you can get them in a groove, they'll feel better. So, he obviously fumbled, and then he missed Wilson, then he fumbled on third down, Beast, by the way. But it's like one of those things, like if you're missing those plays, get them the high percentage throws so he can get in a groove so maybe he can hit those ones downfield. And I'm not discrediting it. I'm just saying, like, a lot of quarterbacks do that. They get into a groove by getting, one completion after another, and then that's when they start feeling better about themselves, and that's when they start doing better. So, anyway, that's all I got, Jake. Take care, man.
Thank you, Joseph. Good call. Raffle coming up shortly here, but first, I received this message from a man they call Beast. I got the effing answer for you, shithead. Wow. You got some nerve, Beast Breaker. You got some nerve. Spencer Green super chatted. Beast, you damn sure didn't win a world belt playing that. Unbelievable. Now, I did obtain some video here. Beast was nice enough to send this over, apparently. Someone just emailed me this. So instead of watching the Jet game Sunday, I'm told this is what was happening inside the Global Studio headquarters.
Hi, BJ. Hi, Nathan. You want to play with me and my balloon?
Not right now, sissy. We're playing catch. See you later, okay?
The only thing you know how to play with is your butthole. Look what you made me do. I lost my balloon.
Turn turn that shit off. That is ungrateful.
You get the fuck out.
All right, one last call, then the raffle. Adam is too cool. Hello, Adam.
How do I follow up on that? My goodness. All right, so
I mean, he
looking
called
at
me.
the
He
stand-
called me a shithead. What am I supposed to do? That was very mean and beast.
I love how creative our followers are. It's amazing. Your followers. So we have 5 games on the schedule against 0-2 teams. So this total 2-win scenario seems highly unlikely, and I think there are a lot of teams worse than us. But it would be great to steal a win this Sunday. I hope we do. I hope you do. I hope you're at the game. I hope it'll be a really good one, right? You know, we may just have to press the reset button on the season right now and just say, look, we played against 2 very seasoned coaches, good quarterbacks. That's not every week. We're going to be playing bad teams. We just haven't run into one yet. We're going to run into one on Monday Night Football where the season will probably be on the line for both teams. So talk about added pressure for everybody there. I think that's going to be quite an interesting game. But again, we got 5 games. 2 of them are against Miami, and then we have a whole bunch of other 0-2 teams that are just as disappointing and are beatable. When I was thinking about just the flow of the game and just the way that the players were behaving, I bet you this speculation, but I bet when they watch Fields, sail those balls over Garrett Wilson, they probably had Zach Wilson PTSD, just like we all did. I mean, the stats show it, the performance showed it, and the defense was probably like, oh, here we go again. And I don't know how resilient they are when it's all said and done. This was a team last year that just folded whenever there was adversity. Most of those team members are still there. It sucks. They got to get more resilient, and they got to get more confident in themselves, right? When the offense was flowing, there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of excitement. I think that you can't make mistakes, and honestly, Fields can't make these mistakes. Fields was number 1 issue last week. Bottom line, Fields has to play better.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, he's not going to play
rocket
Sunday,
science.
so I don't think we have to worry about that for this week.
Correct. So we don't have that problem. So now pressure's back on the rest of the team to deliver what they were supposed to be delivering.
Well, Tyrod also has to play solid too. Like I think he's proven to be a solid, spot starter at this stage of his career. But let's see.
And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned the Reddick thing. I don't want them. Honestly, if Reddick sacks Tyrod, that might be the end of Tyrod for the year. So honestly, double him in particular.
Well, I don't know if he's worth a double. I'm just saying, like, it'd be very Jet-like for Hassan Reddick to get a sack Sunday.
Yeah, he can't be touched. Tyrod cannot be touched. That like dump it as the other caller was saying before, dump it off before you even can get hit, because you can't throw Brady Cook into this scenario. He's not ready, even though he had a very interesting progression in the offseason. So that was really good. But you know what? Like, you can't get too low after the first 2 games. You can't get too high. You can't get too low. This team has flaws. Everyone in the league knows what they are, and the team is just going to have to overcome them. And you know what? If we have a really awful season in the end, we're really disappointing. There is a cheer that I remember hearing from the UK sports teams, the UK soccer teams, and it goes like this: we lose every week. We lose every week. You're nothing special. We lose every week.
I'll tell you what, Adam, you really stepped it up with this call today. Well done.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
You guys
Voice of an angel, huh? Shout out to you, Adam. It's a week-to-week league. There are certainly some alarming things. But, it's 2 weeks in. Prove us wrong, Aaron Glenn. Couple comments here. Bino says, Brokeback 666 is a total for Gazy. Don't watch games. A real SOB says, as a guy that typically listens on the podcast medium, Beast looks even more impressive in person. It's well said. We have a Beast fan in the chat. And as a real SOB already knows, the Jake Asman Show is, in fact, available as a podcast in audio form on Apple or Spotify. So check it out. Our audio numbers are crushing it right now. So big thank you to everyone who's listening in the audio space. Burkinator with another super chat here as I'm putting the final names together for our mega raffle coming up for 3 signed Jets jerseys. Burkinator, thank you. You are in the raffle for 2 more. Good luck. Let's see. Beast responds to the question, what happened in the game, the same way as when my wife asked me if I watched the video she sent me of home decor. Jake put these in the raffle. It's well said, Burkinator. Black Gypsy. He is in the raffle. Again, good luck to Mr. Gypsy. That's obviously his real name. Government name, in fact. All right. Are we ready for 3 signed Jets jerseys to be given away? I think we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time right now to announce the winners of this week's Asmaniac Raffle.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac Raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
NYC says, see you in Tampa. I have a really good feeling about this game. NYC, you've won many raffle prizes. Hopefully you had good feelings about that. So you have a proven track record of feeling good and it then actually happening. Right now, though, let's find out who's going to win. Our 3 prizes, which feature a signed Justin Fields jersey, a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey, and a signed Sauce Gardner jersey. If you win, email me your name and address so I know where to send each prize to. Good luck to everyone. And again, thank you to everyone who supports these raffles. We started it off as just a holiday season thing, first week of December. And it's become a staple on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, prize number 1 is the Field signed jersey. And the winner of that is the big fella. Hey, how you doing? Congratulations to the big fella. Okay. Prize number 2 is a Jermaine Johnson signed jersey. And the winner of that is, let's reshuffle the names one more time after we removed big fella's entries. The winner of that is Tom D. Congratulations, Tom. Tom has been active, super chatting a bunch today. In fact, his most recent super chat was Beast is a fraud. Doesn't watch games. He's a meatball wizard. Tom, you won the prize. We got one more jersey to give away. It's autographed by Sauce Gardner. The winner is Mimosa. Congratulations to Mimosa. She is our final winner. But you know what? I'm in a giving mood. Right now, I'm going to give away another prize. The prize is a Garrett Wilson shirt from jakeasman.com. If you win, email me the color and the size you want it in. It's our G5 shirt from jakeasman.com. Let's give away one more item. As a little thank you to all the listeners who support this show and make it possible for me to actually do this for a living, despite how bad the team we talk about every day has been. Ladies and gentlemen, one last winner. It's that shirt you see on the screen. Let's pull the Wheel of Champions back up, and let's spin it one last time. The winner of a G5 shirt is Big Loyal. Big Loyal, you're the winner of a G5 shirt. Now, Big Fella wants to call in. So we have a Big Fella that won and a Big Loyal that won. Big Fella, because you're the man, yes, if you have something important to say, I will extend the show for you. Ladies and gentlemen, a Jet chant for all our winners this morning on the raffle. All right. On that note, we are awaiting a Big Fella call. He's one of the greats. And ladies and gentlemen, he has, in fact, called in.
He's home, his belly is on the bed. That's what feels good. On the road, his belly's on the bed. In a dirty hotel room. He calls the show, his belly's on the bed. He's just more comfortable. He got a beard, loves the jets, super jets. Where's a big fella, sleeps alone. There's no room on his bed. Where's a big fella?
Hey,
big fella.
What's going on, man? You want to hear something crazy? Last night I had a premonition I was going to win this shit.
Really?
Yeah, I really did. I swear to God. And I was thinking about like what I was going to do with it, right? And I was like, well, am I going to give it to my son? And I was like, I don't know if he'd appreciate it as much as this person. There's a guy who I went up against in Asmaniac Madness. A guy who talked a bunch of shit to me in Asmaniac Madness, and he's a lover of Justin Fields. Okay, he thinks he's going to be in the Ring of Honor. And he does cause brush fires when he runs across forests with his legs. But I would like for this jersey to go to JJ.
Wow. What a gesture. What a gesture by the big fella.
So,
yeah. Are you kidding me?
So that's what we're going to do. JJ's going to get this. He seems to support him a lot. I support Fields too, but not like this guy. So JJ, this signed Justin Fields jerseys for you. I know you don't have like a lot of memorabilia or anything like that, and you just got married, so consider this a wedding present.
Wow, that's epic. Now, I don't know if he's a Patreon member. I don't know if he's in the Discord or not, but JJ, if you're out there or if anyone knows JJ, tell him to message me and we will get that jersey gifted from the big fella sent his way.
So, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got to say. But I pretty much ranted my ass off yesterday. So, just want to.
Let's be real. If the Jets were 2-0 and Fields played as well as he did week 1, you'd be all over that jersey, baby.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. But no, I mean, I'm lucky. I have a lot of memorabilia and stuff like that. I know JJ doesn't, and he pretty much will go to hell and back for this guy. So I thought it was the proper place for it to go.
Well done, big fella. That's why you're a legend.
Thanks, man. Have a good day, everybody, and go Jets.
Go Jets, big fella. Amazing gesture. See big fella in Tampa in a couple of days. All right, now Beast has been blowing up the private chat here, messaging me saying, I got the answer. You want it now. No, Beast, I don't want the answer. I want an apology. I want an apology for what you said. You called into this show. I asked you about a football point. You said you didn't watch the game. So just because you went and checked the box score now and you know what happened on that third down on the Jets' opening offensive drive, that doesn't mean that we're all good after what you said about me. Calling me a shithead. I don't deserve that. How dare you? On that note, that does it for our show. Thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you to Robby Sabo for being a part of it. Before we go, though, we do have a short clip that I feel needs to be played. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy.
Hi, BJ. Hi, Nathan. You want to play with me in my balloon?
Not right now, sissy. We're playing catch, Dee. Maybe later, okay?
The only thing you know how to play with is your butthole. Look what you made me do. I lost my balloon.
J-E-T-S!
J-E-T-S. Yes. All right, let's go.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you got to make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.